What is happening, fishers? Dean here from Untraceable Fishing. Yeah, once again with Don from Bull Moria Fishing Tackle.
Welcome to
Tackle Tuesday. So Don, I see I'm super excited about this one. The Assassin Horizon Championship Edition, number 5 on the table.
Yo.
What can you tell us about this beautiful rod?
You know, lately we've been looking at quite a range of rods. We had the Beachmaster a little while ago, and guys talk about the different types of carbon, and you know what? I don't care. The technology, I don't care.
Okay.
This is a lacquer rod.
This thing is. Listen, we had a little put together this rod just before we did this video. Man, I fell in love.
Yeah, wonderfully light, beautiful action in the hand, and we joined it together and we gave it and it had like a 10% bend. Yeah, you can feel that torque.
You can feel that torque coming right through into the handle.
I mean, this is only a 4 to 6 ounce rod, but it feels stronger than most 7 to 9 ounce rods do.
No, I agree with you there.
It's certainly, but it's getting to premium rod. But you know what? This is one of the best. Actually, this is the best rock and surf rod in the world.
Yeah,
this is the best that money can buy.
Yeah.
Go to Australia. This is what the Oaks are using.
This is the pinnacle of what it gets.
I've supplied these things to guys in Europe already that are talking to Tiger Sharks, not the big ones. These rods are the best available for the job we use, and they're certainly the pinnacle of rod development.
I think a lot of guys think, drop 10,000 Rand or whatever they're costing. I know they're between 9,000 and 11,000 Rand depending on the models.
Yeah, 8-9 grand plus varies a bit across the range, different sizes. But
I think go in store, pick one up, and you'll understand why.
Yeah, they're very, very popular with the guys fishing competitively. Yeah. So you're fishing for provincial colours or your league club type competitions, or even for national colours. Yeah. This is the home of the Horizon. Yeah. It's but what did you take on the previous Horizon? Did you ever feel those?
I fished it. That's when they still had the extra heavy and the double extra heavy. Yeah. They didn't go the number route like this one is, which we'll get to just now. I did fish them. I liked them, but I think this is definitely a step up on the previous Horizons. Yeah. They've definitely upped the game.
Basically, they're claiming twice the strength, guys. Okay. And I think I can feel it. Yeah. The other ones were sweet.
And they were strong.
This is like sweet and strong. Yeah. In the biggest of ways. And light, taut, sensitive. Yeah. The adjectives can go on and on. They are beautifully finished rods. I think the quality of binding and color and the spigot joints. We've looked at quite a few different rods, and I know some guys go, look, a spigot joint is something fairly new to the market. Yeah. A lot of lower end rods have started coming out of it as well now.
I've seen that, yes.
Initially, I remember the very first rods that came out of it, some guys were skeptical, like, this thing doesn't join properly. It doesn't come all the way to the mark. But the tech here, guys, is that there's way more strength in your joint. This part doesn't have to be as heavy and thick and dull. It adds life. And as your rod, over the years, you're talking about 10, 15 years, slowly wears. I don't know if you notice some of your older rod designs, it gets a little bit looser.
That little bit of a wobble when you cast in it. Correct.
This will just slowly work its way millimeter by millimeter down. Yeah. So it extends the life of the rod. This is a long-term investment. Yeah. Unless you take a stupid fall on the rocks, this is going to last you. You've got a quality rod, a top quality rod. Yeah. And that joint certainly gives a far more seamless action to your setup. And no compromises in strength. It's a good deal stronger. That technology actually comes from your fly fishing market. Correct. That's what was first developed, and certainly fantastic. Guards here, real seat, nice thin profile.
Yeah, extremely thin. I enjoyed it with my small hands.
Beautiful graphics, nicely subdued as well. Yeah, nothing over the top.
Not in your face too much.
Yeah, they got some colorations in them, but they're all fairly subtle. I think. And you're saying what the numbers?
So we're looking at the numbers, guys. They've got a big range available. Yep. It runs from a 4 right up to a 9. Yep. For your really hardcore shark anglers out there or big ray anglers. And then also something to remember when we're talking a 4, it's rated to throw between a 3 and a 5 ounce. 4 being the optimal weight to throw the rod. So There's a rod in every class for every sort of rock and surf fishing in the Rising Championship range.
So this 5 would be a 4 to 6 ounce,
correct?
Which is a good general rod. I think I'd comfortably use this for most reggies, isn't it?
Yes,
I have no issues.
I think you'd pull them without any issue.
But it's sensitive enough to go for things like bluefish and or small sand sharks and get points in the comp.
Yeah.
So quite a versatile rod.
I think number 5 would probably be.
If I was going to buy one,
I'd buy this one. I'd buy this one as well.
That'd be the cool.
So I'm just going to hand it. I don't want to drop it. Thank you.
And we spoke about on the Beachmaster a little while ago. We were going on about the carbons and the tech and that.
All the numbers.
And I remember we were saying HMC2.
Yeah.
I see this is HMC4. So this is the very latest carbon technology. And Assassin, they don't divulge exactly how they do things, but
it's their marketing secrets.
They very much. This is their game, guys. This is what Assassin has developed. And they've done it with a lot of input from anglers.
Yeah.
The top anglers are given these rods to review. They give them a try out. They get feedback from the guys. They don't just dive into a rod and say, "Here it is, guys, like it."
Yeah.
This is a rod developed for South African conditions. Great. And everything about it, from weight to action, I think is top class.
It's perfected. It's perfected.
Yeah. The sweet thing, not cheap. But I think if I looked after it, I could have it for 20 years.
No, 100%.
I don't. If I bought one of these rods, I'd have 0 excuses.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'd feel any need to buy another rod to replace it in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, great.
The odds of something coming out that are going to superlatively be better than this are probably minimal. Whereas I know a lot of you guys, you buy your 2-3 grand rod, it's lekker. And years time, ooh, new one.
You need to
Before you know it, you spend 8-9 grand anyhow.
You might as well invest in a good rod.
Pretty much, eh? No, I think it's a solid idea.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you're in the market for it, certainly give it a 5 out of 5 rating.
Oh,
this is the world's best tech.
Yeah.
Super excited about them. They've been out for a while now, proven themselves. We haven't had issues. They're a great rod, great track record, great service from Assassin as well. The backup and from the product is phenomenal.
Good.
Good company to deal with. Other little things, it's a lot of money. It's only negative.
Yeah, it does cost a bit. If you can afford it,
you
can afford it. If you can't, start saving, I think.
Yeah, and just to spin a totally on its head, we've got
there's a
Monster Shad coming up soon.
So there's another way to win one, guys.
So for $200,
you enter into the lucky draw.
Enter a lucky draw and maybe try catch a shad. Even if you don't catch a shad,
you're still in line to win this beautiful rod.
You could have this rod delivered to your door.
Correct.
I mean, how sweet is that?
No, that is that's probably my only chance of owning a rod like this.
We can't enter though, dude. So it's like I wish I could. But guys, get excited. Comp's under a month away.
Very soon.
And entries are flooding in. It's on our YouTube and on our Facebook for Memoria.
Correct.
And Traceable on YouTube. All the forums and the WhatsApp groups are there, all running pretty smoothly.
Yeah, I think guys get together. I've got guys I've spoken to. They're getting a group of guys together for the weekend. They're going to have a jaw, have some prize.
Oh, absolutely.
Fish with some shad.
Yeah.
Just have a boys' weekend or ladies' weekend or
I was speaking to a guy
together.
I was speaking to a guy from Cape Town. He said, there's not too many shad around Cape Town. I spoke to him about an hour ago on the phone.
He's got more chance of winning though.
Nah, he says Stray Spy. It's only an hour and a half drive.
It's worth it.
Clap it to Stray Spy. He wants to go catch the monster shad.
Correct.
So guys, get excited about this. I know on our coastline lately there've been some 6 to 8 kg shad coming out.
I saw a photo earlier of one of the guys in the Transkei getting a nice fish.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Everybody's done
an area. There's some reefs the guys are putting some big fish on. And last year we saw a lot of big shad before the sardines arrived.
Correct.
When the sards arrive, you get these little baby oaks.
Correct. Following in.
Now's the time of year to target the monster.
Yeah.
Your odds of a good 8-10 kg fish are definitely there.
Definitely there.
So guys, super excited about the rod and super excited about that, as a lucky draw prize, yay.
Top class.
I don't
think you can get a better prize, a lucky draw prize than that.
No, for sure. So that wraps up the Horizon. If you can't tell by our chat, we're super excited about them. Hopefully my wife spoils me one day. If she does, I'll love her forever.
Well, I don't have a wife, but whoever wants to spoil me can be my wife. That's probably one of these.
There we go. Okay, and moving on, I see we've got some other reels here.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to, guys, moving on to the next segment for this evening, something new. So, little Akuma Inspirer, I have in my hands here. I think Don's going to run us through this one. I think he's the real fundi.
Yeah, the finesse reel market. We're talking about light drop shots. We're talking about river and freshwater environment.
Okay.
That market's hotted up quite a lot in recent times.
I see that, yeah.
A lot of guys are realizing you can catch pretty big fish on small reels. The ISX is pretty much a variation of the Akuma RTX,
Correct.
which has been supremely popular. What both models offers a nice carbon matrix drag.
Yeah.
So you can lock down on this baby. You can lock into a pretty good fish. They've proven pretty durable. I know one of our local guys here has got some Dorado on these deep sea.
Oh, really?
So
That's proper.
they're a small reel with a lot of manure.
Big package.
And 1, 2, 1, 3, not stupidly priced. You know, they're very realistic. So for the lighting, the difference between the RTX, which is largely more carbon, is this is now more metal. The ISX Inspira.
Okay.
So a hint heavier.
Yeah, but a bit more rigid. Maybe.
But yeah, a little more rigid. What is super cool as well, they've taken away the little stupid
the
anti-reverse thing, which lets the water go into the system. So a very logical design, super smooth. Yeah. Oh, what's that?
Oh,
manual bail arm.
Yay! Better. Well done, guys. That is
well done, guys.
You don't often see that on a small reel.
I think this is a little 5,000 size, the largest they go. I know we typically stop down to a 4,000 and 3,000 size. But if you're fishing the finesse market, you're looking for like a reel for tiger fish.
Yeah.
Light tackle, drop shot, maybe going for some small GT and that kind of thing. Leary, certainly one out short.
Handle a decent sized Leary on this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's no look, if I can pull a Dorado, I saw Dorado come out of about 10, 15 kilo on this.
Yeah. I know you can pull anything.
So you can pull any Leary out on this pretty solidly. Good reel, eh?
Beautiful little reel, guys.
Excited about them. I quite like the coloration. Reminds me of your pins you love so much, the gold.
I definitely need to look and add one of these to my repertoire.
Yeah, one out shortlist and definitely worthwhile looking at. Good job there, Akuma. Well done.
Yeah, good stuff, guys. So check out the Akuma Inspira.
Yeah, Inspira ISX.
ISX.
Just to confuse the X a little bit more.
How's it, guys? Okay, so moving on to the Q&A section. We had an interesting question come in. Are pen or conventional reels, are they dead? So what is your take,
this is a guy particularly talking about your larger 15-foot rods and the grinders we love to fish with, like your 18, 20, 25,000 grinders, which is how most of us target big sharks in that nowadays.
Okay.
And the rest of the world use a lot shorter rods, and they use really large multiplier reels.
Correct.
Conventional reels, as you said. And you're saying why? I think in our South African conditions, you've often got to cast fairly far. The guys are wading deep. That's why they're looking for longer rods.
Yeah.
And you just want to get the distance.
Over the back banks into the deeper water. Yeah.
Where typically, I don't know if you watch most of the American videos. How do they get it out?
They can either they want me fishing off docks or bridges where they can just drop straight down.
Yeah, that happens quite a lot.
I think they're allowed to use boats and stuff, little bait boats and stuff that we're not allowed to use in South Africa. Or they paddle them out.
Yeah, they often paddle them out. A lot of the time, their beaches and their surfers, it's like a 1 foot swell.
It's like a South African dam.
And you've also sometimes got really deep water, like 5 meter deep water, 50 meters out.
Yeah.
So deep water close in. So the whole game changes quite a lot. I think certainly I've seen the Oaks using those big old pen senators and that. So, and they're targeting like tiger sharks. They're allowed to target great whites there. Yeah. And they get some pretty big fish. Those huge hammerheads we don't get here.
And they also, their sharks seem to come, I know our sharks come in shallow, but because of the crystal clear water, they can almost sight fish the big sharks.
Yeah, often they've got the sharks literally chasing shad net onto the side of the shore. So very different style of fishing. But that poses the question, is the multiplier dead? Do you still fish with a multiplier?
I don't. I've got some in my cupboard because I'd probably use them, but I don't know when I'm going to use them again, but I won't get rid of them. There are instances I might want to use it.
Okay, I laid out a challenge over the December season with our younger staff here at Pulmoria. We've got two of the youngsters which are solidly shark boys.
Yeah.
They are shark mad. They'll put out their big baits and they'll kite them out and that kind of thing. And I've challenged them to beat them on a Pen 49A, mono, main line, and leader. And I've challenged them.
Yeah.
I've got to take up the task because I've got a shark for a long time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give it a bash. And I have done it in the past. I've managed on a multiplier reel with fairly decent, like 0.5 mil mono to land sharks in that 100 kg plus category. So it is doable.
Yeah.
Certainly doable.
100% doable.
Okay, so why though? Why would I bother to still go on a multiplier?
Well, listen, guys, I think one of the things is budget. Can you afford a top-end grinder to fish with sharks?
Yeah,
you could get away with a multiplier with a cheaper multiplier to do the same job.
I think the Dower SL, commonly known as the slosh,
is
the abbreviation for them. They come in a little 20, 30, and a 50. You know, a lot of guys go, what reel must I buy for shark fishing? You know, under $2,000, You got a little reel here.
Yeah.
They hold about 500 meters
Yeah.
of 40, 50 pound mono.
Yeah.
And they'll handle a reggae and then no problem.
If you want to get really ridiculous, braid backing and 150, 200 meters of top
Yeah,
shot.
you got to watch a little bit on some of them.
Yeah.
I know that I actually love to gooi braid.
Yeah.
I'm a bit skeptical when I see you got to make sure your spool's metal.
Metal, yeah.
And I don't quite like a carbon body and braid. I think if you hook into something stupid big like a large grey shark or a really big bronzy, you can shatter reels.
Yeah.
It gets to that point.
Just put too much drag onto that fish.
Yeah, and ironically, getting 300-400 meters of mono out, the stretch and bungee effect
takes some of the tension off the reel.
Pretty well for you. So maybe a little bit braid on the bottom, but I try and avoid it as much as possible. But the cool thing about these is simple.
Yeah.
Hard to cast.
Yeah. But
simple in design. My previous multiplier, the Daiwa TLD 2040, and I think I got 20 years service out of that. And it caught it must have put away a good 5 tons of the fish in that time period.
And it's still going strong.
No, it's died.
Oh, it's died now.
A shark killed it.
Okay.
So sometimes the big sharks do eventually kill them, but for the money, you're getting a reliable setup. You know, they actually answer, what budget reel can I use for shark fishing?
Yeah.
Learn to cast a multiplier. You can find something like this in the used market for like $200-300 sometimes, and you can get into the game.
Yeah, correct.
Grandpa, uncle, dad. Everyone's got a big old
49A
or a big rod you can borrow once you got the reel.
Correct.
So certainly not dead.
Yeah.
Other advantages. Any other advantages you can think about? Why are these things so cool?
Well, listen, serviceability on some of them.
Easy to service.
Very, very
Don't have
easy.
to do it too often either.
Yeah.
You know.
Very, very easy. Guys, as discussed earlier, the reel's going to last you a lot longer. Yeah.
But I know you guys get so excited about a Serragoto when it runs out.
But the ratchet, but obviously the ratchet.
You know, when you hear a ratchet go, there's no sound like a ratchet.
No. Like
the adrenaline sparks up to,
look at that.
The only pet peeve I've got, stupid Americans who leave that on while they're finding the fish.
Yeah, TV drag.
TV ratchet. TV ratchet, insane. Okay. So there's certainly for the budget market. Yeah. What about the premium market though? That is a Daiwa SL50SH.
Okay. So we're picking up the Trinidad.
This is top end stuff. Top of the
something like, as we were mentioning earlier, some of the guys that do a lot of jigging, vertical jigging and things like that.
Yeah, you'd possibly go for a narrow one. There are some specialist ones that are on narrow jigging, but some guys would fish this on like a 13-foot 2 to 4 ounce rod.
100%. I think if I went back, I'm not saying going back, but 10 years ago when I was fishing conventional reels, I'd be drooling all over.
Yeah. You know, a lot of guys have got their favorite rod, they're custom made, or they've got the old Perglass or the Blue Marlin, and that is the rod they love.
Yeah.
That sort of they know something like that will last you the rest of your life.
Oh, no, 100%.
Not cheap.
Yeah.
But premium. Going to give you an amazing fishing experience. Superb durability. And I don't know why. They say they're supposed to put out less drag than the grinders, but they just seem to be able to stop fish better.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a line going straight off instead of over the line roller.
Yes, correct.
They just seem to handle the torque of a larger fish a good deal better. So I think there's certainly still a market.
Yeah.
As you're saying, the narrower ones, even narrower than this. Sometimes like a 16 size and a 10 size. That for the slow fish jigging. The overhead style jigging for large fish, guys. We're talking about like your tuna, yellowtail, that kind of thing. And you're often throwing like 100, 200 gram jig.
Jigs you're pulling up.
Yeah, conventional reel certainly has a place there. Star drag or lever drag. They're both options. Both are popular. The premium ones tend to be lever drag though.
I think even for the guys on the lighter side, like if you're doing a lot of live bait fishing in the rivers and stuff like that, I'd preferably use a conventional reel over a spinning reel.
So we mentioned star drag. So for those guys who've never actually know what you're talking about, your star drag is largely similar to the knob on a grinder. Tightens up slowly in these cases. They're not quite as on-off as they used to be in the past. And you preset your drag, and as you're fighting a fish, you can adjust, can lock and open. The different system to that is a lever drag.
Yeah.
Now, not all lever drag reels are quite as large as this. This is a
big boy.
This is a big boy. I actually use an old TLD 10 Shimano.
Yeah, lever drag.
And I love that for my river fishing with live bait and that. And ironically, in the surf environment, it actually outcasts my grinder.
Okay.
So occasionally, a multiplier takes a bit of skill to learn to cast.
Yes,
I must admit, I still get punches. I mean, but that's normally when I'm trying to push a stupid distance.
Yeah.
But there's something superbly sweet about getting 150 meters on a conventional reel. and it's doable.
Yeah.
The world records for casting distance are all on conventional reels.
Yeah.
So there's a method to the madness. That's why some guys stick to them as well. Back to the lever drag here. That's basically your free spool.
Okay.
You can set them on the side of the knob. So basically what your drag is starting to come on. It's got a stopping point there. You preset that to say 20 pound or 30 pound. So be it in the spike or be it on the deep sea bow type setup, that's your strike hit. You know, it's going to give a little bit, but you know, you're good.
Okay.
And then beyond that, you can literally lock it down.
Okay.
These things put out a tremendous amount of torque. You can reel in the bus. Feels. And the better ones also have a 2-speed option nowadays. Basically, your gear ratio halves.
Yeah. Just a little bit less fatigue on the arms leading a big fish in.
It is. Also trying to get a really big fish off the bottom.
Yeah.
That clunk, 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 clunk. Because I don't know if you've ever seen the guys fight really big marlin in that.
Yeah.
They almost get to the point where they pull the line.
Yeah.
And try one.
Yeah.
So that lower ratio, like a 2-to-1 ratio, has got its place.
Correct.
No, certainly grinder wouldn't manage that.
Oh, no, 100%.
So, yeah, certainly. But getting back to the shark side of things.
Yeah.
I know drones have been banned on the South African coastline, so you can't fish with drones. But a lot of guys have geared up with these kind of reels. They've geared up particularly for drone fishing, but there are other methods of using them.
Yeah.
You can
Cart out,
you can paddle out, find an outgoing rip, maybe a balloon. So there are methods of getting your line out.
Great.
This class of reel, well put together, braid, quite happy guys.
Yeah.
But we also tend not to fish braid straight.
Yeah.
We tend to fish about, I think this is the whole country, 800 to 1,000 meters of braid.
100%.
And we're not talking about 30 pounds here.
Yeah, 100 pound or 100, even.
About 65, 80 years is more or less enough.
Yeah.
This is a 50. You get a 30.
A little bit smaller.
A little bit smaller. We don't often go bigger than that locally.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of reel you're thinking about Zambesis.
Yeah.
The biggest bronzies.
Yeah.
Your 300 kg grey sharks. This is the kind of reel you're starting to think about. What other things do you know is different on top there?
I see it's got little clips that obviously put on for a harness for some really big fish.
So you can literally, you're attached to this thing.
Yeah, you don't have to physically hold the weight of the rod and the reel up the whole time.
That can be super cool. If you've got this fish running, you can actually go, and just let it go.
Yeah.
You can certainly do that. And if you need to turn it and you lock the drag down, you certainly got a lot more torque to suddenly bully it back to you. When it dives again, you can easily loosen off and let it run.
I think on the longer fights, it's definitely going to help if you harnessed up.
Yeah, no, for sure. It takes a lot of strain off the
get
back
some relief off
well.
the arms and things.
Yeah, certainly. So got its place. This is an Akuma. There's Shimano's and Penns in this class. So there are quite a few brands that represent there.
Yeah.
Good reels, guys. Got their place. But this is the shark guys looking for the extreme.
Yeah.
I know the guys are using these in the States quite often. It's the style they're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to have that mentality of gearing up for it. You know what kind of rod you think you'd use on it though?
You'd have to use a conventional style rod on that. So
conventional style
rod geared to
rod made. But what kind of rod? What are we looking at? What length do you think you can look at?
Oh, 14 foot on something like that. Yeah. If you surf casting, if you're out at sea, your shorter rods obviously.
Ironically, off the rocks and that the guys are using shorter rods.
Yeah.
I know your Vector drones and that from Assassin and quite a few of the other drone rods, in particular, were geared like a 12 foot.
Yeah.
Around about an 8 to 10 ounce and a 12 foot. Sometimes a 13 foot.
Yeah.
But the shorter rod actually puts less strain on your arms. And it actually makes fish fighting a little more manageable.
And that little extra length.
And like you spoke, and you fish the cliffs in the Morgan Bay and that there. Often the environment you haven't got room to swing with a long cast.
Makes sense.
Are these castable though?
I'm sure you could cast that.
I must admit,
it's going to be interesting, but I'm sure you could.
The Shimano's I have cast.
Yeah.
With success. I've got distance on them. I'll push a 100 meter cast in Shimano, but you have to check some of these.
They aren't designed to cast.
They don't have that much free spool. The cool, complicated thing is you actually cannot control your free spool. I know the Shimano's once they fly, they go.
Yeah.
If I've got a knot going, if I've got a knot going through my guards, I've got a bunch.
Yeah.
So literally, you've got to have your wits about you. On the lower or standard conventional reels, you've actually got a little knob there that can control your speed.
You preset your.
If you're first starting out fishing, guys, keep that slow. Let your sinker drop down slowly.
Yeah. 1 second a meter type of thing. What I used to was taught.
You know, we all cut our teeth on this style of reel, and they caught fish, Yeah. And they can still catch fish. So if I've got 300 Rand to spend on a reel, instead of buying the cheapest grinder I can,
they get a better.
I might be better off buying a second-hand conventional reel. So nothing against them. I think they're going to be around for a long time still. And one or two guys are starting to jump back.
Back again. I've seen it, yeah.
I think possibly to a large degree, the fact that the better ones, you can go the braid backing, and you're still doing a mono top shot. So you're kind of getting best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And in the right hands, I think a lot of us changed to a grinder thinking we're going to cast twice as far.
No.
And the reality hasn't quite been that. What other advantage to this kind of reel over a grinder? Any other thing you can think about?
Well, we've got the longevity we run through.
Yeah.
But easier to service on some of the models, like that
Yeah,
might be a bit more complicated.
They're all pretty practical. They're not hard to work on.
Yeah. Okay. Price points. Obviously, you get cheaper for cheaper.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I can't think of anything else. What can you think of there?
They cast a hell of a lot more accurately.
Oh, we forgot about that. That is true.
If you want to land in behind that big rock out there, and the cool thing is, as you get to more or less your spot,
you can stop it.
Drop on the spot.
Yeah, braid. Once you've overcasted, you've overcasted.
I can at about 70 meters. I reckon I can land on a square meter on a good day.
Yeah.
Whereas on a grinder rod, I'm about 5 by 5. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Sense. You can slow your cast down. On a grinder, when it's going, it's going.
Yeah. And it's just that release point, your accuracy seems to be so much better. It's the same down to the tiny reels. The guys fishing with bass.
Oh, there's a lot more accuracy for that.
Little bait casters. It's certainly, if you want to land under the little ledges and that. So there is a plus to this design. Certainly, I think it'll never disappear.
Yeah.
But I think for most of us, the grinders, because of the braid revolution, have taken over. They're easier for beginners to start with, and they do put out a lot of torque and drag. So they certainly are very fishable. And the sad reality is you can't actually find too many awesome new casting rods. The ranges are getting smaller and smaller. So kind of a lot of guys are reverting to custom rods or finding older models and kind of refurbishing them and that. So sadly, guys, it's I was listening to the guys fishing on talk about Roy Krantz down the Cape.
Oh yes.
And I love my Pen 49A. So it's like a big, solid old thing,
chunky one.
Holds 500 meters, like 45 pound. You know, it's a mini reel. That's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
And the guys fishing down there used to use 10-foot rods back in the 60s.
Yeah.
And they used to throw 7-ounce spoons with 80-pound nylon, and they used to catch 80 kg tuna off the rocks.
Yeah, that's quite a feat.
No, I'm not that strong.
Yeah,
I'm a sissy compared to those guys. No, so the heritage of multiplier reels is certainly there, and I think when it came to all the very large fish caught in South Africa in the old days, they were very much the real for the job. So multiplier reels, guys. They'll never quite die. No. And if you do own one, you know it'll never die.
Yeah, don't get rid of it because there's always a place for it.
Absolutely.
Anyway, guys, Don, thanks for that informative talk. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us this evening once again. Please remember to check out Paul Maury on their Facebook page. Check it on Traceable Fishing on our YouTube page. Like and subscribe. And until next week,
this is Tackle Tuesday.